Okay, welcome back to Tiger Isle, the second city. Today we're going to cover broadcasting type thing. Broadcasting has a special place based off of that. My name is Chad Brown, and in broadcasting we have an area that's hard to find based off of it and to confirm after finding it. Make sure I've got the right book set aside here. There we go. And we're gonna need some paper there. So here we go again. A lot of these things are, I guess, Zelda or Secrets of Mana because of their area where you find them. If you look at all that information at once, you've got class feature stands out, table 3-5 bard spells known stands out type thing, but not much else. So let me grab that here and let's get over here type thing. Maybe we can figure this out type thing. And there we go. Here. Okay. So, much now like a tablet type thing, I'm going to use this cardboard like a tablet type thing, that type of thing. You take that off, and then you got that type thing, that type of thing. And then you can turn on here, and that's your tablet type thing. And then I'm going to do that from there, and then I'm going to come over here. Then you can dock your tablet type thing with your computer and see it on your screen type thing, that type of sense. But not the smoothest dock process yet for my tablet, my Kindle, to my computer. A little bit faster for my phone. I'll try to walk this back over here, and then we'll get that going. Just still working on the setup here type thing. And there we go. Okay. Now that's the bard thing, taking that type of sense. That's the weapon features, and then there's a hidden thing type thing. There's class features. Not sure what color we want to go with that for. That's what we talked about there. And then that is bard spells known there. Okay, now in that's weapon there. That's see that indent there, and there. See, there's a space right there, taking that type of sense. See, it's simple, and then above it is the weapon thing, and that's an indent type thing there. And then there's another one at the because, taking that type of sense. And that's our reading spot. Oops, I probably want to be a little bit off of that type thing. That's because the somatic components required for bard spells are relatively simple. A bard can cast, okay, so try to write those things down as I come across them type thing, that type of sense. So that's can cast. And then it said, while wearing light armor, can cast, that's first, and second, while wearing light armor. Okay, normally that's an arcane spell or failure chance type thing. This is bards are arcane casters, and let's see here. See casting, and then that's arcane, and that's divine. There you go. And then from there type thing. However, let's see, while we're in light armor, that's the word without, so that's 3 here. That's without. Okay, and that's 4. Alrighty. Without incurring the normal arcane spell or failure chance. So then incurring the normal arcane spell failure chance. Okay, so now that's without type thing in that type of sense. The normal, so we're gonna going backwards type thing. That's going from bottom to top. Okay. Now we open up here and we go to page. That's the player's handbook type thing, that type of thing. No, it should be in Pathfinder type thing, that type of thing. Don't have all the Pathfinder set, and all the Pathfinder type thing does not. If you bear with me here, see that word type thing, that sense underneath the sword, and it says supplement type thing on the Dungeons and Dragons type thing. They do not have all the supplements to the complete series type thing in that type of sense. So any class or character or feats in there type thing, they wouldn't be within the gaming system. You'd have to create it type thing in that type of sense if the DM approved it. And I'm not sure how much of that combo they would have to approve type thing, that type of thing. And that's Arcane and Divine. And in that type of thing, there's the without incurring the normal arcane spell failure chance type thing in that type of sense. So that's going to be normal to without type thing in that type of sense. Okay, so that's without and normal. That's going from, oh man, that's going from the back to front type thing. So literally we're saying normal to without type thing in that type of sense, I guess, written the other way. So now normal type thing is on page 123. Those are the orbs there. It's 1, 2, 3. And then let's say a bard is going to buy some leather, 10 gold pieces type thing in that type of sense. I should probably stop by and do money real quick. That's Bard, page 111. And they have 44 D10 type thing, that type of thing. So it's 44, 10, and then the X. See, now the 44 should do this now. That's like Excel type thing in that type of sense. Let's go do that real quick here because of its complexity. Almost done here, type thing in that type of sense. And let's see if I can zoom in on that. There we go. Alright. Now from that type of thing, oops, sorry about that. And there you go. Okay. From that type thing, let's go ahead and escape there. And in that view, we're going to go to Excel. And we're going to do this here. Are we looking there? Okay, good. And we had 4D4. So we're going to probably have to put that down here type thing. That's 4D4. And so now this is not together. That's together type thing in that type of sense. And we're going to do an analysis type thing. I think analysis, you break components up. And then in synthesis, you put the stitching together. So it's like poison and antidote type thing, that type of sense. So that's the poison, and synthesis is the antidote. I think that's right. Okay. So we're going to do the poison part first. So here, with that 44 type thing, that type of thing, no lot of Excel type thing here. I think there's wrap text, and then a view. You can freeze panes there, type thing, that type of sense. That's view. They call this the ribbon rather than the menu. And in formulas, there's your auto sum, but you can change them out. And my add-ins, I think I've got Megastat for different distributions. Okay, and a one-factor analysis of variance type thing, that type of sense, but they shorten it to a chart Ebonics saying of the name of the type thing, that type of sense. That's really, I guess that's bad slang typing in a type of sense. Analysis of variance, A-N, O, and VA, and total A-N-O-V-A typing in a type of sense. It's pretty complicated stuff, but it's really not. So now in components, there's 3 letters or number of combinations in there, 4, D, and 4. And so now in that, you're going to take that, that's random. And in the word random is R-A-N, and then D, lowercase d, taking that type of sense. So you're going to have a random die roll type thing in that type of sense. And again, that die roll is going to be of a 4-sided dice in that type of thing there. Let's see here. And see here. So this is the first component, the second component, third component, and that's not good. That's centered, and there you go. And then from there, that's 4-sided dice. That's 4, and that's centered there. Now that's a 4-sided die. That's 4 type thing. But here in the first component type thing, that type of sense, and that's insert. You've got to get rid of those cells there. Go back to the paint, no fill. This first component type thing, we're going to turn into an A. Okay, and we can turn that to a B, and that into a C. Because in this A part here, that 4 doesn't, it represents start at 1 until you get to that number type thing. So 1, 2, 3, and then, oops, let's see, in 4. And then from there, here, you're going to roll a 4-sided dice 4 times, and then you're going to add up the result. Then after you add up that result, you're going to multiply by 10 type thing, and then that should give you your money. So if this was 4, if this result was 4, this is 4, this is 4, and this is 4 type thing, then you're going to take that and formula, and you're going to auto sum that, and that's 16. Then you're going to take that result type thing here, and that equals that result, asterisk 10 type thing, and that's going to be 160. Now in that type of thing there, now you can get to your actual dice roll type thing that means. And we can go back to broadcasting, and we'll put that in slideshow view, and hopefully I'm not in scene there. Okay, back to that type thing in a type of sense, and let's go auto zoom. Okay, and almost there. Now that we've explained that type thing, got basically like 2 more rolls, and I really got this thing for a resume thing in that type of sense, to look at jobs and things of that nature type thing in a sense in the bulletin board, because a lot of the new stuff type thing, that type of thing, no man, like the Obamacare type thing, that type of thing there has, it's good of Obamacare type thing. We have to go to webinar with the workforce tomorrow on that type thing, hopefully. And in there type thing, do you know how many resumes submitted online are rejected for using the wrong words? And then pin type thing, and there's the answer to number 1. Quick hint, number 1 is more than 85%, and that's 1-to-1 type thing here, but there. And that was that first question from Work Ready Employment Assistance Program. And I'm starting a company called JobClick to try to eliminate these types of things from actual resume building things in that type of sense. Not so much the problems, so much as just a better procedure towards getting employment type thing without playing some type of word association game through a template type thing, work type thing. See how that goes. Haven't got a website yet. Haven't made a channel trailer yet type thing. Did make a Twitter handle at Chad D. Brown at JobClick as the handle type thing. So you're welcome to come by there and check it out. I will occasionally post things on there and try to post more in future. Okay, now in that breakdown type thing, that's we were at the normal arcane spell failure chance without incurring type thing, that type of thing. So we get a green one here without stabbing ourselves with multi-pins. Really good. You know, I think I'm going to take these things out and put them on a board so then I'm always not pulling, because I've got backup boards, because that's dangerous. Okay, that was the normal thing. However, like any other arcane spellcaster, a bard wearing medium or heavy armor or using a shield incurs a chance of arcane spell failure if the spell in question has a somatic component. Most do. Multi-class bard still incurs the normal chance spell failure chance for arcane spells received from other classes. So that was enlightening, and there's that one type thing from the normal arcane type thing in that type of sense. All right, finally got a chance to break that down. That's pretty layered. Okay, now we need a cup there type thing in that type of sense. We got a cup, and my hands kind of stick from time to time. Let's see, money. Should we go green? We're gonna go green type thing in that type of sense, but that's blue arcane type thing, so we'll do blue. And let's see here. That's 4 of them type thing in that type of sense. That feels more clerical. Let's see, that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, and do another one. I'm trying to, I am, and one, alright, we got a purple one. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Like some royalty thing there. Yeah. And now it said to come up with 4 rolls. And then in there, type thing, that type of sense, I can keep rolling this like once, and then twice, 3 times, 4 times, type thing, that type of sense. Now, or I can say that before I leave it, I'm going to drop it into the cup. It has not been rolled yet. Technically, it has been rolled because I've dropped it into the cup. So it's 1 die in the cup. That's 2 dice in the cup. That's 3 dice in the cup. And that's 4-sided dice in the cup type thing, that type of sense. When I release that, that'll turn into 4 dice that were rolled type thing, that type of sense. Or 4 rolls of a dice type thing, that type of sense. So in that type of thing, that type of sense, you can just do it at once. Okay. Now, that's the first roll type thing, and it was a 4. So result on that was a 4. Okay, and we can put that up there type thing in that type of sense. The first result was a 4, and now the second result. Okay, second result is a 2. Okay, and write that down there. The second result is a 2. So we're over there. And then the third result, type thing in that type of sense. And here is a 1. Okay. So the third result is a 1. And in that, the fourth result is a 4. And the fourth result is a 4. Alright. Can't really see that. Okay, that was a 4. And good. Now, calculator. And now, go back to Excel here. Or, that was a 4 plus 2 plus 1 plus 4 and that type of thing, and hit equal. That's 11. And then x10. And so times 10. 110 gold pieces type thing in that type of sense. Okay, the average type thing in that type of thing, it's probably 125, is 100 type thing in that type of sense. So 100 type thing, and we did 10 better than that type thing in that type of thing. So that was pretty good. So now from that average, it says amount average type thing right there, and average in the parentheses, so any number value in the parentheses is going to equal to the top column thing. It's going to equal average. So now in that type of thing, 44 type thing in a denominator, and in the numerator type thing was the average column type thing in the parentheses type thing in that type of sense. So the amount, the amount is in the denominator, and those are the same things. So now that's average type thing was 100, and 44 times 10 is in the denominator, or that's 100 over 160 type thing in that type of sense. And this 100 and that symbol there divided by 160 type thing there. So now in that type thing in that type of sense, that's 100 divided by 160, and oops, I got a number in there. That's 100 divided by 160, and that's 62.5. So that's 0.625, and now take that times 100 type thing in that type of sense, and that's 62.5 type thing in that type of sense. Now from there, I believe in a grading scale, an A is equal to 90%, and a B is equal to 80%, and a C is equal to 70%, and a D is equal to 60% type thing in that type of sense. And we got a 62.5 type thing in that type of sense. So that's a 62.5% type thing in that type of sense. And that's not quite a C. It's 8% short of a C. So that's what the average roll came up with type thing in that type of sense. And I believe average should equal 70%. And we're a little bit underneath that type thing in that type of thing. But just letting you know. Yeah. Okay. Well, now in that type of thing, I guess I could take that to the internet type thing in that type of sense. And it's here. Real quick type thing that means. Pretty sure I had one, but I didn't think to add one as a necessity. Okay. And yeah, we're probably up to 30 minutes for one step type thing in that type of sense. Let's go here. Yep, and there's jobs type thing. There's Indeed.com. That's jobs. And that's job entries type thing from Simply Hired. Let's see, try nursing type thing in that type of sense. There's a lot of that stuff with that 85% mistake stuff is going through this stuff in some ways type thing. I guess they shouldn't say that, because you see they apply now essential functions, position summary, things like that type thing in that type of sense, more basket, and more things like that in that type of sense. I can't think of a greater time of need type thing that didn't need more handling type thing, that type of sense type thing for everybody else's inside game, I guess. And it just doesn't need to be that complicated type thing, that type of thing. But definitely, especially for the value it adds on type thing for the search. But you know, still add such things there type thing, that type of thing. It should work here. Yep. And that's my last one. I've sent out 6 tweets so far. 21 followers. That's social media today. If you start moving, is your store moving with social media? And let's see here. 3 easy peasy tips for lazy people. Yeah. That's great there. Type of thing. 6 tweets there. Let's see here. Last night I sent out pictures, and that is the one there I sent out from workforce type thing, that type of thing. And do you know how many resumes submitted online are rejected using the wrong words? Do you know how many resumes submitted online are rejected for using the wrong format? And along with those search bots, that's just great. Yeah. So there aren't enough stuff as it is type thing, and to be stressed out on if they had the right turn-in type thing to go into a mailbox that may or may not be voicemail and answer type thing. I think that's wrong. It's all, the whole thing is not better. It's getting worse. So let's go there type thing. That's letter grade, and there are a lot of people out there that are trying to help type thing in that type of sense. But I think there's a lot of things out there that are making worse out there too. And that's C was 77, 73, 70 for C minus. D plus was 67 through 79, and the D is 60 through 66, taking that type of sense. We had 62.5, so we're not doing better than average, type thing, that type of sense. I believe average is supposed to be that C minus, type thing, that type of sense, and it should be at 70, the midpoint of a normal curve, type thing, that type of sense, or central tendency, where most of everybody else landed, type thing, that type of sense. So you don't want to be in the greatest amount of average, type thing. You want it to be in the greatest amount of the tails switched over to their upper and lower control limit, type thing, that type of sense. You want to be in the upper tail, not the hump in the center, type thing, that type of sense, with the central tendency of average. So now at the tail, that's 90%, and at the central tendency, that's 70%. And I know that feels weird, type thing, that type of sense. I did not bring my pen with me. So that's here, and then that's here. So that's the central tendency, is the center of the hump. That's C, and that's 70. And then that's here, type thing, and that's the high part of the tail. That's 90, type thing, that type of sense. Let me go ahead and flip this over, type thing. So now, it's not making much of a point. That's 90 and 70, type thing, starting from the back, type thing, that type of thing. That's 0 and 0. That's 9 over 7, type thing, that type of sense. So the tail is, let's see here, that's a number line, type thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, oops, and I forgot the 0. 6, 7, 8, and 9, type thing, that type of sense, of a non-hierarchy type thing there, and that's some keyword thing. And so in that type of thing, that's I'm not sure how many people remember that video. Okay, that is a 7 and a 9, type thing, that type of sense. So the 9 is bigger, type thing, that type of thing. So that means the 9 occurred here on a normal curve at the tail, type thing. That's 90%, and 90% is equal to an A. So that's where the A is on a normal curve, and the upper end of a sample population, type thing. So, okay, we did that. Now, we're going to turn back here. 119, 121, 1, 2, 3. Oops. Make sure that that's wrong. Okay, we got that. That was 90%. That's number line, type thing, that type of thing. So now we had 110 gold pieces, and that's leather, and that's 10 gold pieces, type thing. So we have 110 total, and we're going to, I guess we can just put total on the top of it vertically, and we're going to minus 10 for leather, type thing, with no markup. And in that type of thing, that's 110 minus 10, type thing, that type of sense. Whoops, and that's 100. And let me do that again. 110 minus 10, and that's 100, type thing. So now remaining, type thing, in that type of sense, is 100 GPs, type thing, and spent 10 of it on leather, type thing, that type of thing. Okay, so now from spending 10 on leather, type thing, let's see, first column said leather, then that's second, 10 gold pieces, third is plus 2, and then plus 6, dexterity bonus, type thing, if you have a dexterity bonus, like an 18 dex with plus 4, type thing, that type of sense. That's armor check penalty is 0, type thing. That's for your skill thing, in that type of sense. So now you turn back here, let's see there, and that's the back of the book, type thing, in that type of sense. And that's here, and that's here, and that's here. That's 317, and then from 317, that's skills there, and that's move silently, type thing, in that type of sense, and dex star, and then at the bottom, armor check penalty if it applies, type thing, in that type of sense. So that was 0. So you're wearing the armor, you have 4 ranks, and then you have a dexterity, I think dexterity goes in there, of 18, which is the first number, and then 4 is the modifier, which is the second number. So that was 4 modifier, type thing, in that type of sense, plus 4 ranks, type thing, in that type of sense, and a d20 roll. And now for the C thing, that's minus, your armor, moving in your armor type thing in that type of sense, which was 0. So it's still a d20 plus 8. Now in that type of thing, your class level type thing in that type of sense is first and plus 3 for max ranks out of that. So that's 1 plus 3 is 4. That's 1 plus 3 is equal to 4 type thing in that type of sense. And then that's actually 4 ranks denomination type thing. So if you had 32 ranks and now minus 4 ranks for your move silently type thing in that type of sense, it's 3, 2 minus 4, that's 28. Yep. So then 28 ranks left to go spend on like disabled device or escape artist or things of that nature type thing in that type of sense. I believe that's how that works. But we'll get to that sometime type thing in that type of sense. This is just over Arcane chance type thing that means. Okay, so back to it type thing that type of thing. Now let's back to 123. Now we covered that type thing, that's leather. 10, 2, 6, 0. Then one more over, 10% up to arcane spell failure chance. So denominator was 10. Numerator type thing was arcane spell failure chance. And the next one said failure chance to check penalty for armor type thing in that type of sense. Armor over arcane, cane over more type thing. So this one's skill related and this is spell related type thing in that type of sense. They look kind of the same type thing. That's skill and that's spell type thing starting from the back. The L's cross out and that's I over E and then that's K over P type thing in that type of sense. So these things aren't the same type thing and that means. So they look similar type thing, you can run them together, but that's arcane spell failure chance type thing. So now we go back to page 122 here and we're at the indent that's at the bottom. That's maximum dexterity bonus to weight, to speed, and then to armor spell failure. And now in that type of thing, in that type of sense, and did I do that right? From 122 to max, to speed, and to arcane armor spell failure. Okay, armor interferes with the gestures that a spellcaster must make to cast an arcane spell that has a somatic component. Arcane spellcasters face the possibility of arcane spell failure if they're wearing armor, so wizards and sorcerers usually do so. Bards can wear light armor without incurring any arcane spell failure chance for their bard spells. Okay, and one above it type thing, that's armor check penalty, and any armor heavier than leather armor hurts a character's ability to use some skills. And armor check penalty number is the penalty that applies to balance, climb, escape, hide, jump, move silently, sleight of hand, and tumble checks by a character wearing a certain kind of armor. So these things were the same chance type thing in that type of sense. So now that's 10, and that's the backpack there, and that's 27. First level bard, that's 0 type thing in that type of sense, and that goes over to first. So at first level bard, spells per day, and there we go there. So that's here, there, to here, there, type thing in that type of sense. And spells and bard type thing in that means. Okay, now it said 0 type thing in first, and there are no first there type thing in that means. And so now we go back here. That's zeros for bard on page 181. And that's mage hand and light and flare. See which one of these has that. Turn into the back here. Usually alphabetical type thing in that type of sense. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G. G should come, F was flares, should come after any ones with E's in it. Expeditious Retreat is probably in there. There's Expeditious Retreat. There's a spell block for it on page 228. And then at the bottom of that, this spell need not be used as part of a retreat. The name of the spell merely hints at the typical wizard's attitude toward combat. And then the spell increases your baseline speed by 30 feet, so it turns it into a type thing in a type of sense. That's increase. That's the word increase. And 30 feet type thing in a type of sense. So then that's increase, and your start type thing was 0 type thing that means. Which it was not. It was 30 type thing in a type of thing. So it's 30 was your start type thing. So now, if you were human or elf, and that's elf on 16, that is first one down is dexterity, so that's the first bullet, and the second one says medium type thing in that type of sense. So in that type of thing, that's your baseline speed underneath the medium is 30, so it starts with 30 type thing in that type of sense. So start with 30, and then a spell increases it by 30 type thing in that type of sense to 30. So now in that type of thing, that's 30. To increase is to subtract, plus 30 type thing in that type of sense, increase to 30 to 60. So that's how Expeditious Retreat works, I think, but that's a first level spell, I believe. And that type of thing, it was like 220 something. And 228. And Cineral type thing, that's the first column. And then that's the second column type thing. And then we want to go down. That's Expeditious Retreat and Bard 1, Sorcerer 1 type thing. And we can't cast those type thing in that type of sense. The number of the spell level is behind the word. So that's Bard. And then that's Bard 1 type thing in that type of sense. So we take the 1 here, and then we take that back to page 27. And then from the 1 there, that's the first level spell, but there's a dash there along the first thing, so first level Bard, so we cannot cast that. So that is right. Now, in that type of thing, let's go look up Flare, and those are E's. Enthrall, Expeditious Retreat, and then Explosive Runes on 228. And with Expeditious Retreat, Explosive Runes, those starts with E. That's an E on Expeditious Retreat. And then F, A, B, C, D, E, F. F is after E type thing. So we should be able to find that here. And Flare, looking for Flare, Flame, Flame Strike, and Flare. No somatic components type thing in that type of sense. What about Lullaby? Alright, switch that over here. And yes, Lullaby does have one type thing. I'm on page 249, back in the center. And components is verbal and somatic. Anytime you have somatic, you have arcane spell failure chance. So now you wear leather armor type thing in that type of sense. And we go back here to 123, and didn't read what the spell did either. That one there, arcane spell failure chance for leather is 10%. So now you have to make a check type thing in that type of sense. Let's go here. Casting a spell in armor. A character who casts an arcane spell while wearing armor must usually make an arcane spell failure roll. The number in the arcane spell failure chance column on table 7.6 is the chance that the spell fails and is ruined. The spell lacks somatic component, however, can be cast with no chance of arcane spell failure, taking that type of sense. So that spell had a verbal component and an S component type thing, or a somatic component. I think that's how you spell it type thing there, type thing that type of sense. So it is subject to a percentile roll. There is a D10 and a D10 type thing there. And then there, type thing that type of sense, there's a 0 on it and a 4. So if they picked a high or low type thing in that type of sense, I think that spell just failed. So that's 0 and a 4 type thing, or double 0 type thing in that type of sense, or 30 type thing. A D20 can make a 30 type thing in that type of thing. There's a D20. There's 20 and 16, 14, 11. Well, there's some different sides on it. I'm not sure 30 is on there type thing. So once you get above 20, like 21, then you might want to take a thing here, and 2, and then take the second one, and go to 1. There you go. And then that's 21, and that's 20, and that count type thing, that type of sense. So from there, type thing, that type of thing, we had 10% failure chance type thing here, type thing, that type of sense. But if we go back in our paperwork, type thing, that type of sense, normal, which was 10%, to without, type thing, that type of sense, to 0. So now there's a 0 chance roll, type thing, that type of sense, for the spell failure chance type thing, so you don't have to roll. So now the arcane failure type thing, that type of sense, was 10, and then it went to 0 type thing, that type of sense. So at 0 type thing, there's no need to roll type thing, that type of sense. You can cast that spell while wearing. So now, so that cast 0% arcane failure chance of leather in leather of lullaby type thing, that type of sense, with a verbal and somatic component type thing, that type of sense. Even though leather has a 10% chance type thing, that type of sense, your bard thing allowed you to, hold on here, because the somatic components required for bard spells are relatively simple, a bard can cast bard spells while wearing light armor type thing, that type of sense. And so they're allowed to wear that armor, that's leather, to pad it to light armor type thing, that type of sense. So even though it says 10% here type thing, any armor that a bard wears that's light type thing has 0 chance of arcane failure. So leather over to 10% is now 0% chance of arcane spell failure type thing, that type of sense. So they can cast as much as they want to without the DM looking at them and telling them that their spell has a chance of failure. So now the chance of failure, so I'm going to cast, I'm a bard, I'm going to cast in leather type thing, that type of sense. The chance of failure is 10% type thing, that type of sense. But it's 0% type thing because of your class ability type thing to cast in light armor type thing, that type of sense. So bard class ability to cast in light armor type thing, that means. And that's on page, let's see here, that's on page, that's a bard type thing, that type of thing. And that's page 28, and then that's here with hit die d6, any non-lawful, class skills, and that type of thing, class features, that's weapon and armor, and then because somatic components required for bard spells are relatively simple, a bard can cast bard spells while wearing light armor without incurring the normal arcane spell failure chance. Well, thanks for listening. This has been Chad Brown. This is 1d8 plus 1 Leonar Orbs and Dimming Sage Block 9. And that was a hidden aspect of the bard's ability to cast in light armor without having an arcane spell failure chance. Have a great one. Oh, and check out JobClick if you want to, and I appreciate the tweets. Thanks.